Yep.
Oh my gosh, isn't it fun to see everybody? I love it. Woo, woo. Okay, all you rock dog ladies, let's start with what do you have to celebrate from the week? Anything. What is something that was pretty darn hipster cool that you experienced with your business last week?
I'm already at 3,000 PRV.
You are? Oh my goodness! Is it from the holiday?
And I booked 3 more parties for this month, so I'm at 15.
What?
15.
Oh,
I don't know how I'm gonna do it all. I really don't. I'm freaking out. I'm feeling a live share coming from somebody in the Let's Go group. This way, anyone else feeling that? I'm feeling that. We need to hear from little Miss Jen.
Jen is a party beast. Like, she joined in June, and she's probably done more parties than I've done in 9 years since in June.
Oh my golly,
it's crazy.
Jen, tell us, if you had to give us one inside skinny tip, what would it be?
One inside skinny tip. Mine is all based on relationship building. So I send a message at the beginning of every one of my parties to each party guest. I give them the link to the shopping. I offer them samples. And then if they message me back, I actually also post that I'm offering free samples in the group, and I tag everyone. So then if they don't see my message, they usually see that they've been tagged, and then they usually will go see my message when they respond with their address so I can send them samples. And then I talk them all up all week. I ask them how their week is going. I ask them what kind of scents they like. I ask them how they know the hostess. And I just try to befriend them. And then off of becoming friends with them, going out of my way to offer them samples if they live local. I offer them my scent testers so they can smell more. And then I just, off of developing relationships, I've been really, really lucky with just booking a lot of parties. And that's really my number one suggestion, is just to build those relationships with people.
Wow, relationships. What?
Who knew?
Who knew? So deep. It's craziness. Wait, we still building a relationship in a business? What? Right? That's what it's about. We're just a little more intentional about it. It's still real. It's still us being social. It's still us being real people. But now we're just, like I said, we're more intentional with it. So like you're checking in and you're making them feel welcome so they can know, like, and trust you. And it goes both ways. So like, and trust them. And the only thing different than us meeting all of these people on a soccer field with other moms is that now we just keep track of them through our family tree list. Somehow you write them down so it triggers your memory next time you run into them, so it becomes more personal quicker. So I love to see that. Heather, are you cold? Oh my golly, it was like 90, what was it? 98, 99 here today, Lori. Holy crap, Tab.
Oh yeah.
It's like 30 degrees right here.
30 degrees, pass.
Oh.
I live in the Adirondacks. It's called winter to us.
That's what I moved from.
Still fall.
That's what I moved
We just
from.
started fall.
We
Come
already
on,
had
man.
snow up here. We had snow up here October 1st on Whiteface Mountain.
I'm originally from that area. I'm from the Finger Lakes originally, so I know what to speak. I left there in 1973. Haven't been back. Don't want to go back. I'll take our heat. I'll take our hurricanes. And thank you.
So who else has something? What else is something hipster cool you want to celebrate? I mean, because
I have, sorry.
No, you go.
I have 2 brand new teamies, and they're both pretty. One is going to be achieving certified this month, and the other one is very close to 500 PRV.
Woohoo!
So,
Nice. Were they an Erna-kit or?
Yeah, both of them were.
Oh, is that not glorious? An Erna-kit?
Thank you to Yvonne and her little tricks and secrets.
Like what?
Yeah.
Just how to like present it, because I was like shy and like how to present it to the hostess, and you know.
Okay, that's good then, because it's fun to see all the different ways to share it and hear the language and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you can go like this? Yes. Nah. I'm not sure. Who had their biggest paycheck in your Scentsy career, not in your life? Yeah? No?
Me.
It was kind of close. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So when you see this and when you see that, the human nature. Thank you. Especially with women, is to compare ourselves. And you can see it. You've seen it in our group, just in our incentive group, which was a small, intimate, cozy group. And then you can see it in a bigger group, like your team page or on Team Talk, that it is real when we start comparing ourselves and we see other people doing what we want or what we think is hipster cool or what we perceive as better, then we can easily take our eye off the prize. We can easily get distracted. We can easily defeat ourselves in our own mindset, right? So what is fun right now is that is so real. It is so part of this business. And I love there's a quote that was going around in the last couple of months, and then I think Brandy showed it again, that a superstar director is just a certified consultant who never quit. We have the same exact experiences. We have the same exact challenges, successes, ups and downs. We just said, okay, well, what am I supposed to learn from it? Where are we supposed to go from it? So I'm telling you this because I love your honesty. So what? That has nothing to do. No one's gonna hold this against you. No one's gonna hold this against you. This and this are all part of business. It's gonna happen, and what we do when we're at either of those stages, because it's gonna ebb and flow, what we do in and through those stages is gonna be what gets you to the top, because that is a reality and everybody gets to experience it. So those of you who had a thumbs up, talk to us, tell us, what did it feel like? What did you do? Were any of you surprised? What was your gut feeling about it?
When
I'll
I
share
was
mine.
flipping my,
Oh, good.
who's talking?
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Heather, then Brandy.
Okay, so when I was flipping my parties the very last week of September, I had to call Scentsy up and try to flip these parties so they get their PRV. One was able to be flipped, the other one was not because it was just too close to the deadline, and Scentsy had too much going on. So I felt kind of bummed, but this person that didn't get her part, like all of her PRV, she's so motivated. She's already like beyond what her party was.
Oh, wow. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. But she's really motivated. She's also a Pamper Chef consultant, and a lot of her customers have disintegrated because of all the shipping issues. So, yeah, so she's like, I'm not doing anything in Pamper Chef because nobody's booking. But she's already got like 4 parties booked.
Oh, yay. That's a great testimony. So, I was going to feed into that, but sorry. I get so excited. Okay, Brandy, you.
Well, I was going to say, I have a Excel spreadsheet that I can plug in numbers to, and I can predict my payday or estimate my payday, but I'm usually wrong. Like, I usually end up getting a higher number from that than my what my actual commission is. You know, it gets a little complicated, and so I get a little sad. And so I didn't want to do it this time because I knew it was going to be big, but I really had no idea, because although I promoted a director, I also promoted 2 superstar consultants, which you get you get a lower percentage for that. So I was like, I have no idea what it's going to be. And like, I'm hoping for something great. And in my head, I'm like, okay, if it's this number, then I'll be happy. Like, I'd really love it to be this number. And then I'd just be like so excited, like, good job, you know? And I held off. I didn't use the calculator because I'm like, I don't want to disappoint myself. And then I talked to Danette, and she's like, here's our kind of like how we predict. And I looked at that number and I was like, oh, I kind of hoped it was going to be higher than that, but that's still a good number, you know. And all morning, you know, we broke the system, and I was checking and checking and checking, and then it came on and I was like, oh, it was like the biggest number. And I couldn't wait to show my husband, because I was like, look at this. And he's like, holy crap, you know? And I was like, I'm going to double that by next year. And he's like, good, because I'm going to retire. And it was so exciting. And then I thought, if I can do this again next month, like I could pay off like 3 credit cards, right? Like if I just don't touch it. And then if I do it for another month, because I really could, like in the holidays, we could easily get 3 months just like that. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully we have that same momentum. And I was like, and then, and it just kept making me like think bigger, and not bigger money, but like all the bigger things I could do with that. And I'm like, yes, I'm like so in, this is amazing. And what am I going to spend it on? So I went car shopping.
Dream big. I have to share that even though I didn't get my biggest paycheck ever, I think I did probably get my biggest portion from my front line. And what I did was I really worked to motivate them. I mailed them all one of the holiday flyers, wrote a personal note to each one of them, and on, and it paid off. So even though I probably could have been smarter the way I did it, I was still very happy to see that came through with the active frontline.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. See, there's all these little fun things. So how many of you, do any of you watch, I'm a big sports fan, big sports nut. In fact, on Walkie Talkie today, we talked about college football is really our niche. But whether you're into it or not, NFL and NHL are coming out. So it's kind of a fun thing. You know a little bit enough, you know enough about it to at least put it out there when these products come out and that other people can order them. But it's always fun to do analogies and to get into the world. And especially now with COVID, a lot of people are just hungry for any kind of socialization, and sports are a huge part of the United States, and we haven't had any of that. And so we were, all of us leaders were talking this last weekend in our leadership call, and we just thought, you know what, this is a halfway point for our incentive. Last week and this week. And so think about a football game. Have you ever, whether you're into the sport or not, how many of you watched the halftime show? I know, right? How many of you have never watched the halftime show? Oh, everybody has. Okay, excellent. Oh, yay, even better. So the halftime show, which is fun, I could ask you, how many of you have watched an entire football game? Yes or no? Ooh, oh, hey, that's the same. Look at our gifted audience. I'm calling you gifted because it goes even bigger. So a halftime show has nothing to do with football. Do you agree? It has nothing to do with it. It's pure entertainment. It's for the teams to get off the field, take a little breather, go in, look at what's worked, what's going right, you know, what adjustments need to be made. And this is exactly what our business is like in our incentive period. We're at the halfway mark. This is the halftime show now, people. This whole entire week, we want you to come up with your halftime show. That means what is to be celebrated? What are the things that you just cherish that have worked for you because of somehow, some way you got in the game? Because somehow, some way you chose to step on the field. You chose to step into this incentive group. So what are the things that you know you're better at? Or what are the things that you feel are just working for you? It's a time for literally that celebration where we take a step back and we look at what has been going right, not at what's going wrong, because that's always easiest and that always comes to the forefront. But think about it. When teams go to the locker room at halftime, they powwow. They get together and they readjust. They come up with a plan, and guess what? When they come back in for the third quarter or after the halftime, it starts over as 0-0. So what can you do now with all of that knowledge and the skills and the great things that you've accomplished, and yes, you have. What can you do with that in your belt now? Coming out, starting not this week, but the following week, and start over. What would you do differently? How are you going to keep the momentum riding or rolling? Or are you going to just make a big change? If you're not happy with the results, and Monique, you had a great post about this week. I'm changing things up. I didn't love how it went, right? So you're going to change up a little bit. That's the only way we're going to enjoy some fruits of our labor, if we're constantly changing things up and readjusting the plan and looking at who is in front of us, the team that's in front of us. And never forget, we are your team. So your big fun little cow for the week is to create your halftime show, meaning literally somehow, some way, just show and share the good stuff. This is a week for you to step back and really, if it means you're going to just take a step back and write down numbers, plug in some Excel spreadsheets, if you're just going to write in a journal, that's so great. But all of those things are so invaluable in any kind of business and any kind of success, is that you literally have to take that really, really purposeful time to look back at what has gone right, because I know how it feels when we can the simplest thing to do is to dwell, but we're not going to do that. Dwell on the negative, I mean, but we're not going to do that. We're going to have our halftime show, and by golly, if you want to go live, go live. If you want to do a fun skit, do a skit. If you want to just do a post that just comes from your heart and soul, let's hear it. If you just want to, vent because you feel like this or that, you're not allowed to end with a negative. You can say as many positives as you want this week, but you're only allowed one negative all week, okay? We call this highs and lows, high lows. You can say as many highs as you want. You're only allowed one low, but by golly, you cannot end your week. Ken and I, when we first got married, we would do it every day, and then it got to once a week, and now we just do it whenever I just have something to share. But you cannot end with a low. It has to end with a high. We used to do it every day, but this week is your highs and lows halftime show. What are you most proud of? Because there is something, and I'm telling you, this is going to be good for your soul, because you got to remember those things. You wouldn't be where you are right now if you weren't in the group, and if you weren't in this for something. What are your thoughts or takeaways, or leaders, if you guys have something else to share? What you got?
I was just going to say there's real power in resetting and kind of ditching the negative and looking at the positive. Nothing wrong with resetting at all.
Yep.
And it's fun to see, you guys, what's possible. What is possible? I mean, when you're hearing everybody, there's so many people that have boasted about their highest paycheck. To me, I love seeing that, because it's just invigorating. There's so much more possible, and I really challenge you to even venture a guess on how much more you have in you and how much more capability you have of growing even more. And this week is really about looking at that. This is your big fat hoo-ah celebration where you are and know where you want to go. Because at the end, we all want to earn the incentive. But if we don't, do we think we played our best? Did we get outplayed? Did we give it our all? When we were hurting, did we still do it? Did we still go out on the field when we didn't feel like it? If we had to go blow our nose, does that mean we're going to take the whole entire game off? I don't think so. We're going to stick in it with the long haul, because we're here for each other. Any questions or thoughts? Speechless.
Well, I was going to say that I'm excited that, well, not excited, but I know sometimes newer consultants or people who are starting out or working hard on this incentive and not getting somewhere, see other people who are really succeeding, and I'm looking forward to seeing maybe what those people are doing. I guess I'll just say, like, I'm shifting. I focused really hard the last 3 months on my team and training my team and promoting my team. but now I'm out of promotions. Like all the people that are working, I'm not getting paid on any of their promotions anymore. Or not paid, but I'm not getting incentive for that. So I can't look at those points anymore. I've got to reset and look at, now I really got to kick up my sponsoring game, because the only way I'm going to get more points if I get new people. So I'm excited to see how people change and what they focus on, what they were good at, and how they're going to change, or what they're changing.
I have something I want to share. I know I've kind of been off and on here and everything, but I'm not a numbers person. I'm more of a people person. And so I had to get out of my comfort zone, and my accountability partner is a little hardcore sometimes. So she got me to start keeping track of my numbers. And by doing that, I could see some people that I didn't see that I should work with. And I have to say, I'm about this close from earning level 1. And I've always, I feel like I've pretty much always earned level 1. And I usually am in the stretch at the last, kind of towards the last minute or whatever. But I've never, I feel like I'm in the middle, and by tomorrow, I should have it. I just have to put my order in, and
yay!
But I feel like I'm really, I haven't been in the group every time, but I want to say this group has helped. The people have helped, and I've tried a lot of things that were out of my comfort zone a little bit, and it's really helped. And I know people think that this incentive is hard, but I think it's more rewarding for our business. So
it'll make it even more worthwhile. If it were easy, everybody would do it. And they're not.
Yep.
We're not. So yeah, so I'm excited just to see what you come up with when you really dig in, because you're going to be so surprised. I just know it. But we want to absolutely hear from every single one of you somehow, some way this week on your halftime show, halfway to the big deadline. So that's the big cow. And well, look at Trina already booking a party while we're on the super fun chat. Holy crap-tastic. That's amazeballs. Way to go, sister. So were you not paying attention, or how'd that happen? Trina, are you going to tell us? What? Oh, you're trying. Oh, I'll unmute. I'll ask to unmute you. There you go.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
You win.
She was texting me about an order for a party that she's in right now. And so I offered her free shipping on her order if she'd book a party.
Boom. Yay. So you made it about her. So see, things like that. Are you feeling like you're better at your conversations, better about inviting, better about, we could go on. I'm going to let you go. But anyway, we look forward to your halftime show. Let's hear it. That's your Simple Dimple Cow. And if you have a team member that was not able to be on this, make sure you tag them on the recording tomorrow. And I'll stop the recording right now.